When you sit down on your ass, you look a little taller. Let's get into the groove. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, your mother's a whore. 5, 6, she chokes on dicks. You got nothing, yo? You got no bars?
No.
7, 8, life is great. 9, 10, let's do it again. 11, 12, you're going to hell.
Okay.
Yeah, you married this.
Yes, I did.
She wasn't even drunk when she did that.
5, 4, 3 all the way. Then we got to one finger salute. We have caffeine controversy, the podcast.
And welcome to another episode of Caffeine Controversy. Of course, we're recording. After that first fuck up, after that first one, I feel I got my flows.
Okay, just checking.
And not like that once a time a month flow. We are here and we are in the Beaver.
Beaver County.
Yeah. Yep. We're in the Beaver counties. Sorry, my tism spazzed out a little bit. But we're recording another episode. As you know, it's your host, Big Fluff, Levi, and then we got Cara, PGP, the booty assassin. How are you doing in your perimenopause tisms?
I'm doing about as best as I can. No, I'm doing good. I do feel like the allergy Pepcid combination that I'm doing has been helping with the brain fog. Whether it's really helping or it's just like
placebo.
Yeah, because I've been getting projects done. So.
Well, that could also be the fact that you have deadlines and they're creeping up and you have like procrastination ADHD.
Well, I mean, there's that, but I know I still have at least a week before the one project, so normally that's enough for me to be like, whatever. And then the other project is like self-inflicted and there wasn't really a deadline, so to like focus on it and get it done was...
Yeah. I never really was good with deadlines. I still not. I suck with it. I have to do reviews for work, and I have like 6 days to do 18 people, and I'm actually bringing people in to do those, and it sucks. But like, part of me is just like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit enough to give a shit about shits. Like, there's just nothing left. There's nothing left. Like, there's doom and gloom, and then there's what we're going through. And I say we as people in their fucking 40s. Because, like, you ever have a whole flashback? Have you ever had a whole phase?
No.
Really? You've never had a whole phase? You've never done hoish shit?
Not really.
See? Oh, man. See, the only time where I was on time with stuff was during my whole phase. Because if I fucked that up,
your whole roster.
Everything, man. It was a problematic type of thing, man. And, like, that was the worst part about, like, being in my 20s, because I lived enough. I seriously have. I don't think it's like, you know, like wanting to. I've done enough. I always said I wasn't here for a long time. I'm here for a good time, and it's been good.
I actually just shared on Instagram that quote where it's like people say they're here for not, a good time, not a long time. And it's like, I am here for a bad time, been living here with a bad time, and it's taking fucking forever.
Well, yeah, well, it goes to that old saying too, like pricks live forever. And I just keep thinking about, like, who did I fuck over to deserve this? Many people. Like many people. Like I am the villain in so many origin stories. And if you got that, you deserved it. But I think life for me it was a good week. It was a good week. I can't say like it was tremendous because life shit no matter what you do. But it was a good week. I have good people in my life for once, so it makes it a little bit easier. I joke about having a whole phase, but like during that whole process, I had a bunch of people around me that I didn't really need, didn't really want. But no, life's good. Life's good now.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, our marriage is good. We don't argue for anything like that. So, we're creeping in on almost a year. We got 4 months to a year. 5 months. 5 months to a year. So it's like, it's been good. I got my birthday coming up.
Yeah. Your birthday, the boy graduates.
I expect birthday sex.
Okay.
Yeah, I want birthday clappage.
I mean, when do I deny you anyways?
This is very true. I think that's why you got like bubble guts right now. Because stuff was a little too real last night. Look, all I'm saying is when you're on a GLP-1 and you turn over too fast, you get these Pepcid AC burps, and next thing you know, it's like, oh God, oh. And then now you got anal leakage.
Oh my God.
Well, it's not like you're bleeding out of your ass.
It's not leaking either.
It's you're shooting yoo-hoo when you poop.
I have control over it, though.
You sure you do?
Yes.
You have a tight sphincter? Is it clenched?
I've not shit myself like you have.
In my defense, I was completely fucking wasted when I shit myself. And it wasn't even like a full poop. It was like a little nugget that kind of creeped out. I was in New York and I was on the train. Mind you, I full on admit I pissed myself like in front of a cop. And then the other hole went rogue and then the little nugget creeped out. And then I wanted to go take a shower, but my friend was passed out in the tub. So then I had to do like the ghetto wash in the sink. And I just threw my drawers out the window. And then like, cause I didn't want nobody to know that I had shit myself or pissed myself. So I just threw everything out of the window and walked out of the room butt naked with my dangles hanging out. And then after that, you know, I went back out to the bar and I got kicked out of the Church of Scientology.
Okay.
See, that's a story.
I lived in New York for 2 years and did not have any kind of adventure like that.
That was day 2.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was day 2. I want to say either 2006? 2006.
I was in New York at the time.
Yeah, I was getting kicked out of churches. Yeah. Granted, Scientology, like, I don't want to offend anybody, but, you know, I got kicked out of there. And it was mainly because I was completely wasted. But it was also the fact that I was like, yo, how much crack can I get into? So, but that's not the only religion that I've been kicked out of. I got kicked out of Catholic church at one point. I was dating a girl who was Catholic. I started cursing. They threw me the hell out of there. I grew up Christian. I didn't get kicked out of that church per se. Asked to go to the basement where my mom whooped my ass. Yes. Yes, 1,000%.
How many times?
At least 4. At least 4. Because the worst thing was sitting next to my grandma because I was a little fat kid and she would pinch my fat on the side. So she would just literally you know, like when grandmothers would come and they would just turn you little fat rolls. Man, she turned me like she was kneading biscuits. And it was like so bad because my back fat was rolling on Poland, bro. And I was like, I literally had so much bacon on my back. It was insane. And so like she would like, I was like, Nana would just come over, just twist my little fat, you know, because she would sit in the second row. So she would sit in the second row. And then whoever my uncle was married to at the time, because even though he loved Jesus, he loved yams, and he was married like 3 times. Bishop, but you know, but he was whoever he was married to at the time, they sat first because that's church mother, and then because even though her husband had that church, my grandfather, she would sit in the second row. Because you don't disrespect, like, you know. So I was sitting next to her. But everybody knew this is Hattie's church. Don't fuck around. And who her family is. And, because I just didn't know how to shut up. And the thing is that I wouldn't say the most, but what I said was so impactful and fucked up. Because I had a stuttering problem, too. So there was the only thing I would say clear was fucked up shit. Like, it was so bad. Like, if you ask me to talk, like, politically correct right now, like, I stutter pretty bad because it's not my normal. Like, I would love to tell people to fuck off and die. Like, I just love it. Like, love it. Like, that's the type of stuff that gets the juices flowing. You know what I mean? I don't need Viagra. I just need to tell somebody to go fuck themselves. You know what I mean? Like, but, you know, I've been kicked out of a lot of places. A lot of bars. I've been thrown out of bars, like physically picked up and hurled out of bars. Finnegan's. I'm in Providence. I was thrown out of there, like literally picked up because I grabbed my beer over the counter because they wouldn't serve me. It was not they wouldn't serve me. I kept asking for my beer, and I went and grabbed it, and they fucking didn't like that. And I was like 400 pounds, so it took 4 people to like throw me out of the bar.
So you wouldn't wait your turn, basically.
Oh, no, I waited my turn, but the problem was that they were serving people that were spending more money than me because beer back then was like $3. So I paid my fucking $3 for my beer, and I just want my fucking beer. And so, but people were paying for like mixed drinks and all this other shit, and I was like, suck a bag of dicks. Like, I want my beer. So I reached over there, and I was like, thank you, and I threw the money at her. And yeah, then I got picked up. They didn't beat me up. They just picked me up and tossed me. And then I went across the street to the other bar. And then when the bar closed, I caught one of the bouncers outside. And it wasn't a fight to the death or anything like that, but we definitely threw hands.
Okay.
That was Thursday. Went back out Friday. But I went to Federal Hill. I was on the hill at a hookah lounge that I was working for. It's trash. But I just used that money Ponzi scheme just to, live the life. I got so many free drinks. Like, I should be dead. Mm-hmm. But, like, here I am in Beaver County with the whitest of white women. You never done anything like that?
No.
What did you used to do for fun when you were growing up? What did you do for fun in your 20s?
I traveled all over the U.S. with Stephen Lynch for comedy shows, photographing it.
Meet random Puerto Ricans online and marry them?
Yeah. Yeah, that's that adventure.
Yeah. I mean, but you did all, we talked about that before, like the online dating shit, like with the fucking, like, cause being a big girl and shit. Especially out here, cause like not a lot of motherfuckers can handle like ass. Like literally not a lot. Like they all want their women to be stick figures, and then or they're like out here you can tell they're just basically like curds. Like they just have like the pop over belly. Like if you're gonna be big, have shape. Like I feel you should have titties or ass or hips or something. You gotta have something. You just can't be looking like a fucking bag of laundry.
Oh my god.
What? You know, and I know someone who is literally built like a bag of laundry. Not even clean laundry. Dirty bitches, right? So, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't care if you big or not, but you gotta have something. You know what I mean? Like you gotta have something.
Dress your shape well.
But if you ain't got a shape and it's abstract, and honey, cover it up. You shouldn't be out here in a belly shirt talking about how you doing plays and shit. Or like how, like, I just don't see it. Like, as a fat dude, I dress my body.
Right.
And I feel this is another thing, because people talk about how big girls don't dress their body. Fat motherfuckers, men, if you a big dude, you know when your belly is coming out from underneath that shirt. Get a longer shirt to cover up your guts.
I feel like that would feel weird.
And trim your belly hair. Like if you're gonna fucking have like a lot of guts, trim your belly hair. Cause this is the thing. All men should fucking take pride in how you look. Like women ain't the only prize. Bitch, me too. You wanna talk about a Me Too movement? Bitch, I look good too. So why can't I be a prize? Cause you wanna know why? Cause we don't treat ourselves like one. Trim your shit. Like trim your bush. Like manscape.
Yeah.
Like you should be able to take care of yourself.
Don't default to baggy shorts and a baggy t-shirt.
I look good. Look at me in my New Balance and my tube socks. You fucking loser. Fuck out of here. New
Balances are back in. Like all the kids are wearing them now.
That's because this generation of
stealing our 90s.
Well, this is the thing. Like if you look at it, our parents would say we stole the 70s from them. You know what I mean? Luckily, because of how hard they lived, they can't even refute the evidence because they're dead. But they would say we stole their childhood. However, the fact that these little fucks are out here wearing Nirvana shirts and like talking about like back in our day in the Foo Fighters, motherfucker. Do you know? Like
you could be a child of the Foo Fighters.
Yes, you're a grandchild of the Foo Fighters, dude. How old's Cobain's kid now?
She has a kid. Her and Tony Hawk's son have a child together.
Yeah.
It's like the millennial mashup.
Yep. And then it's like, all you see like these little kids that be out here and they're like, oh man, like life's hard. Like you see these little dudes listening to rap music and it's like, y'all listening to drug addicts. I listen to the drug dealers. We're not the same. We're not the same. Like, you're a generation that Young Jeezy the Snowman sold drugs to the parents. Like, you have no idea. The fact that you don't even know who the Snowman is, my guy. I understand you. Because you are what they call the pastiest of white. You are a snow. You're snow. Snow bunny.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard that term quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. But when they used to say, like, the weatherman's like snow is obviously coke. And, like, when they used to say, like, Jeezy had a line when he said, like, the weatherman said it's a light chance of snow or snowing in July. I mean, the block is hot. I mean, you out here selling. But you have, like, these fucking kids that are, like, just dumb as shit. And they talking about, you have no idea. Like, what is it? Charleston, he said about NBA Youngboy, like, he makes songs for the mentally disabled and autistic. He ain't lying. That's a level of fucked up. That's somebody who's on the spectrum. I don't even know what half these boys be saying. Do you listen to music from this, like, today?
Not really.
Because even this, Tyler the Creator's 35.
I hear clips and shit when, like, we're in the car and, like,
even that we listen to the oldie station.
Well, it's not technically the oldie station. They just do throwback every weekend.
If it's over 25 years old, it's the oldie station.
But I mean, they play during the week. They play like
what, Shabuzi?
They play current stuff. But no, I mean, I typically have my playlist that I keep going back to.
Yeah, but you listen to, like, Taylor Swift and shit.
I like some of her stuff. Not everything of it. I'm not like a.
What's your favorite Taylor Swift song?
I don't know if I have like a specific Taylor song that I like that I would say is my favorite. I like her newest album.
Like Redwood.
Of course, that'd be the one thing that you would know.
That's the only song I know of hers. That's the only song I know of hers. That's it. Like, this is the thing. Like, why she's finally freaking happy. She's finally getting piped right. Like, that's the thing. Like, people don't understand how much good sex can change your attitude. Like, it changes your fucking attitude. That's why you have a whole phase to find out. You can't take a step back sexually. I don't think anybody can. Men especially. Like, the first time you get, like, somebody who, you know what I mean, can make a clap on your joint, you don't go back from that. It's like the same way if you have someone that mushroom stamps the back of your walls, you don't fucking going back from that. You're not going back from that. Somebody hit the bottom of the Gucci hole. You know what I mean? That motherfucker owns that shit. You ain't going back from that. If you have somebody that literally is like, you know what? What happened? I don't feel my legs anymore. Okay, cool. You're not going back from that.
Yeah.
Or somebody where you bust so hard your booty hole collapse. I'm just saying, because you can do that. You know what I mean? You can like literally like hit that like bam, and you feel like your whole like every fucking fluid in your body has just been evacuated from your whole nutsack, my guy. Like it's like the most painful, beautiful feeling. Like when you feel like your whole manhood just shrivels up, and like it's just like I got nothing left to go in here. You know what I mean? Like, or the first time you hit raw, what? You don't never want to use condoms again, ever. I'm dead ass. You look, the first time any man has felt that skin to skin, what? You telling me that this little rubber junkie has been stopping this feeling? Oh, I don't care how many kids I get. I'm about to let off. I'm going to spray the club up if I ever saw one that did. You telling me that this is what this feels like? Oh, You don't never wear no condoms again. You risk every disease, buddy. All of them. Every last one of them. And I'm like, or you get this. When you get that first one that says, leave it in, bruh. You mean to tell me that I don't gotta clean nothing up? I can just be here and just roll out this mug? Yeah, I'm gonna do this today. Matter of fact, we both roll risky today. We're gonna go to CVS to get this Plan B, honey, because we really don't got the money to afford this. But we gonna do this today. You mean to tell me that I can get skin to skin, meat to meat, and I don't gotta clean nothing up? You just gotta waddle to the bathroom and just take a piss? Oh, this is best. This is the best day of my life. I don't gotta get no towel or nothing. I don't gotta get no cleanup or nothing. God, you lied to me. When was the first time you had meat to meat? Was you married?
I think so, yeah.
That's a terrible thing.
I mean, I was only with one other person before.
Yeah. I had meat to meat. Like, that first meat to meat, I want to say shit.
Way too young.
Probably like 18. I didn't leave it in until I was like in my 20s, though. Okay. Nah, because this is the thing. If you're going to risk that got to be somebody special. Because you don't know. If you got to be attached to the rest of your life or some shit like that. How many people have mistakes? How many people have literally mistakes? You can call your child a mistake depending on what class they sit in and what bus they ride in, whether it be long or short. That might be a mistake. But if you telling me how many people have how many people you really want to baby? With this bitch? Or this funky ass fool? Nah. I ain't mean to do that. You mean to tell me you didn't mean to leave this in? You didn't think that 9 months later this should happen? Well, then we get Plan B. Well, Plan A for you was leaving it in. But not seriously, like I didn't leave it in until I was like 26. And that one, I regrettably did that one, but that's when I found out that my shooters were blank. Because I left it in a bunch and nothing happened. Nothing happened. I mean, nothing nothing did happen. But after that, nothing happened. I think it was all the Mountain Dew I drank.
Oh my God.
Well, remember back in the day, you would drink Mountain Dew, they say they would kill your swimmers. Mine was just swimming in circles. Like, I used to call them Fruit Loops because they just went like this. I mean, I always had hope that I would have, like, put it like this. Everybody can catch a stray. You know what I mean? But knowing my luck, if I got somebody pregnant, because I never say, like, a woman obviously carries the baby. The man is the one who gets her pregnant, unless it's like a plan. Then it's a we got pregnant type shit. But usually it's the man's fault why a woman gets knocked up. And that's even the phrase right there. There's a difference between, I got pregnant too. I got knocked up. Knocked up means, whoops. I mean, there was a little dribble in here. Or there was a misunderstanding when somebody said, you said don't worry about it, so I didn't put the condom on. You know what I mean? I always felt like it would be a stray. Nah. My swimmers never left the kiddie pool.
Oh my God.
So, I don't know. I've never been tested, but I've left it in some weird places, and nothing's come back to me. Nope. I mean, I ain't got no money to give nobody, so there could be an illegitimate. But I ain't never met him. You met your baby daddy.
Yeah. I was young and dumb.
Ooh. I think it was. I would never say it was young and dumb. Like you tried to make something work that wasn't ready to work.
I was also presented a different person.
Yeah, but you also tried to make it work.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. Like, and this is where it's even tough to, like, you fall for the person and not the exterior. But if you're lying about the exterior, then what else are you lying about? Yeah,
I don't even mean that lie, but that should have been a first red flag of, like, well, you're lying about this, Mm-hmm. But it was just presented that, like, yeah, they had a shitty childhood and previous experiences, but that they were ready to be a husband and wanted to be a father. Because, like, the boy was planned. It wasn't like a oops kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I think not dealing with past trauma took over, and they just never grew up.
Yeah. And I can understand
And
that.
like I can vividly remember like the moment everything just like switched.
Yeah.
We were in like our living room, and it was the first time that like the boy like moved where like the belly, like where you could see, and it was like,
Oh, this is real.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just completely different from that moment on.
Yeah. I think it's also like you look at, it's tough for men to grow up. Old school phrase, you never learn to be a man if you don't get to see one. And especially if the image and model for you is somebody who is not good.
Yeah.
It's very hard. I mean, we talked about it in the last episode. Like, look, like, if a man is left to his own devices, sometimes he'll make the childish mistake because we mature slower than women, which is not an excuse for anything. It's just a fact. Women mature faster because women are built to hold the emotional weight. They're taught to hold the emotional weight, where men are taught to hold the financial weight. And those old school bullshit type of hierarchies in a relationship still hold true to this day. Even if the woman's working, even if the man's at home, like there's roles and somebody's got to fill them. You can fill them equally or you can fill them unequally, but most people will go for the unequal fill and look at how can I fill my financial responsibilities, and some people look at how can I fill my emotional responsibilities, and that can at some points be gender specific. Doesn't make it right, but it does happen. I can tell from personal experience, like it took me a while to mature and grow up. I had to lose something for me to understand what I had. Even where through the divorce, I lost myself a lot. It was, you learn who you really are and who's really your friends. Like we were talking about it yesterday, like when everything was going down and I was complaining about everything, no one was really there. Well, people were there. They were there when I was complaining, but then when they said, well, why don't you do something about it? Then when I did something about it, I was like, why didn't you tell me? It's like, what part of the story did you not understand that I was fucked and I needed my friends? Yeah. And that's just how life gets sometimes, is that people and individuals in certain parts of their relationship, like it's, you never really know who you are until like shit hits the fan. And most people who grew up without a proper role model and example, when shit gets hard, they run. They run because it's easier to be absent than to be present and have to deal with something that I'm not emotionally intelligent to deal with.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of men run. They run from their problems. They run from their relationships because they don't feel comfortable in the fact that no one has ever shown them that it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to, if you have somebody that's not going to weaponize you expressing your emotions, it's okay to express your emotions to them.
Yeah.
Like in that moment, the proper response would be like, babe, I'm really scared.
Yeah.
Versus, oh shit, time to go. You know, like you those are those scary moments within relationships. Like you just really can't escape.
I think part of it was because of the instability in parental units for him. He never was really told what to do, or there wasn't like a structure. Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden to have a wife that was like, we have to pay these bills, we have to get a nursery set up, but like being an adult and like setting up a structure
Yeah.
and making them stick to it was like rebellion.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't met with like okay. I was met with like rebellion like a teenager.
I can honestly tell you, as someone who has been with you now for over, it would be 3 years, it's very hard to be told what to do. I tell everybody, who runs your relationship? My wife. My wife, wholeheartedly my wife. I'm the animal when shit hits the fan, like I'll start moving shit, but she, like, that's...
I keep the day-to-day structure stuff going.
Yeah, and like when shit hits the fan,
When
get
I
out of my way.
then
Get out of my way.
yeah.
Because that's where I have to do it. Because like literally you'll get us to the wall and I have to break the wall down.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I think that dynamic works well for us. I think the thing that is, I'll be honest, the thing that's the most thing about having someone who's extremely structured in a relationship is I go to work and get told what to do.
Right.
You know, I get told like this, that, and the third, how I need to plan more, how I need to be more invested. Like you need to watch what you say. And then I come home and I get told how I need to plan more and how I get to get more invested. And like, why the fuck are you saying that? Like, you know what I mean?
I don't tell you not to say something.
You don't tell me not to say it, but you just look at me like, what the fuck? Like, it's
Sometimes it's warranted.
yeah, this is true. I mean, what did I say yesterday when you looked at me like that? There was many things, but I just know for a fact, like doing that, it's hard because it's like, wow, I really don't get a break from being told, you know?
That's part of being an adult.
It's hard. And I will say this, it's like, especially when you're so used to navigating your own way.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the thing that gets me the most is like, look, I have no problem saying who runs it. My wife. Talk to her. Like I have no idea what's going on. Talk to her. Like I literally have nothing. Like nothing. How's wedding planning going? I don't know. Ask her. Like literally, that was it. Granted, my mom had just found a bucket and kicked it, but it was just like I just literally was like, you know.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things. I was like, you know what? I fucking can't. Like I had to relinquish the fact that I don't have the mental brain bandwidth anymore to just be like, okay, I'm gonna run roughshod and be the person that does all the planning, breaks down the walls, and do all the shit. It's like, no, if you're gonna have a real partner who actually wants to be your partner, let her fucking be your partner and take a back seat for once, you jackass. Like,
like you hate to plan shit and you have to do it for your job.
Yeah.
So like, let me manage the shit here.
Mm-hmm. And but it took me a while to get used to that. I had to really learn, like, back the fuck up and literally step the fuck back, kid. Like you can't say you want a partner and then not let them be a partner. So
that was really the only thing that we've like had a disagreement on was like you either like not letting me help or you making like a decision on something and not talking to me first. And I'm like,
yeah, because that was probably like the hardest thing for me is just to admit that like.
Well, you also didn't have to before.
Mm-hmm. Everything ran through me.
Yeah, and so to go and see, I was the one that managed everything. Even we had been divorced for like 10, 12 years or whatever. But even with that relationship, and then, well, even really when I was growing up, my mom had it that her and I ran everything. My dad and brother were kind of just along for the ride.
Yeah.
And then I moved out and was on my own managing myself and all my travels and stuff. And then I moved back to the area, got married, and tried to manage stuff. Plus, my mom was sick, so I was helping out at my parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was pregnant, and my mom passed away. And so I was managing my dad and my brother again, while trying to manage being pregnant and fat and hearing all of that shit from every source around. And then literally watching my husband disappear in front of me the same year I lost my mom. And it was like, and my grandma, who was the strongest person I've ever known, watching her crumble and be weak from losing my mom. Like, that was weird. And because like Ruby was like tough.
Yeah.
And so to see her like not be was like, I don't like this.
Well, yeah.
So it was everything at once.
It was like, I remember when my grandmother passed, and that was my mom's mom, and my mom, she was like, she never really recovered from her dad. Her dad that one was ugly. I wasn't here, but I've heard about it because it was like one of the scariest things, like when my mom was pregnant with Princess. And he died in 1984 in February. My sister was born in May. And I mean, people looked at her and almost blamed her for like new life brings death. We talk about that a lot in our, especially black folks. Yeah. You know what I mean? That yin and yang type shit, right? But man, like you could almost see her like, because all she ever wanted to be was a mom. Mm-hmm. And all she wanted to be was and show her dad, like, and then it was taken away from her.
My mom wanted it to be a grandma.
Yeah, and it eats you alive because now you feel guilt. And then my mom was so tough. And then I saw her when her mom died. She looked at me, and I was like, she gone. And she was like, that's my mama. And I saw her be a child. And then I saw her like, we got shit to do, boy. You know, and like, it wasn't until my mom saw my uncle's first wife, Auntie Betsy, where she just like let it out. Because my mom wasn't the planner, like that was my Aunt Ruth. My mom wasn't the face, that was Bishop. My mom wasn't the crazy one who would pop off and just say what everybody else is thinking. That was Rita. You know, but my mom was the one where, don't piss off that one. You know what I mean? Like she was the bulldog. Like she was the one. She was the mean one. Don't piss her off. Like that was her thing. Whoever, if you got Peggy on your side, you're fine. You know what I mean? Don't piss her off. But my mom was always the tough one. I never saw her cry as hard at her mom's funeral as I did when I saw her hold my Auntie Betsy. I never saw it. She cried when her brother died, when we took her to go see Rita when Rita was getting ready to go. She cried for a little bit. She kept touching her and say, wake up. And I was like, Mama, she's not there. You know what you have to do. And then when Ruthie died, she called me, and you know, it was, I never see her break as much as she did when her mom went. And you see that with people, and it's just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, the strongest person you know. She put up with my father, and that nigga was crazy. But like, so like, it hits you different when you see like that invincibility go. Yeah. Because something touched them. You know, plus with Ruby, I could imagine, because it's supposed to be the other way around.
Yeah. Yeah.
You taking something that you give life to and watch them die.
Yeah. My mom was only like 54.
Uh-huh. Like everybody says when I tell, how old is your mom? Like 70s. She's like, that's so young. I was like, not in black people years, honey. Not for us. You know, like I look at it like I'm 40, going to be 41. For me to outlive my mom, I have more days behind me than I do in front of me. And that's scary in itself too. Considering how much cancer is possibly around us. But that's kind of why, like I always said, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Yeah. That's why I got everything out of me so early.
I've always been the one in charge. I babysat and nannied starting at age 12. I was the one that kept my friend group in check and like made sure we all got home. I'm the one that had the car and drove everybody. Like, I was always the like responsible one that like I never had that, like, even the one year me and a bunch of coworkers were going out for my birthday and they were like, you're always the one managing us, like, you're gonna drink tonight. We were there maybe 10 minutes before they had all had 3 drinks and I'm like, guess I'm driving again.
Yeah. Like, I was always a leader in my friend group, mainly because I was always the one that would start shit. When, we need a party to start. Back then, they called me Beer. So, like, I had many nicknames. But, like, back then, they would call me Beer, and they'd be like, Beer, go do something. Or Lush. Like, Nigel nicknamed me Luscious. So, it was like, they'd be like, Lush, you and Nigel. Because Nigel was the sober one. Nigel was always the storyteller. If our life was a movie, like it was 300, he was the one that was sent back to tell the story because Nigel was the sober one out of all of us.
I was the one that could talk to everybody.
See, that was the thing. Is like I would survey and then start shooting down the liquid courage. But Nigel never needed it. He would just walk in and start dancing and doing dumb shit. And like, next thing you know, we got a squad of people and it's like, Levi, go. You know what I mean? And it's like, and that's what it would lead to me, be like singing on karaoke, like singing Chef's Chocolate Salty Balls, and then going and starting random shit or passing out on the stoop after drinking like 15 like redheaded sluts. My favorite drink, by the way. Not planned. Not planned. Love that drink though, but I can't.
It is a good drink.
I can't fucking do Jaeger anymore. I've drank so much bottles, gallons. I drink so much of it. Like the sheer thought of it. Like we were going to Shelby's thing, and I saw a Jaeger over there. I was like, oh, your body just quivers.
Yeah.
You shake like a fucking whore.
When we would go out in groups, like in high school and stuff, I would vividly notice when there'd be like a group of guys and they would all kind of do that, like, the fat one's yours, kind of like slap around to each other in the group. But then the groups would like, meet up to talk or whatever. And the group of girls that I was with, like, could not talk to the guys.
See, girls would do the same thing to me. And like I would like, so this is why like it's always beneficial to be the fat person first, because you want to know why? We have fucking personality.
Yeah.
Those skinny sluts
Yeah.
and those jacked up Nimrods, they have no fucking idea. Like they don't even know how to fuck. Like, because this is the thing. Like I hate like you get, because I've done that. I'm funny, and this is the thing I would do is I would get like I would pull a bad bitch, right? And this is the thing, they will fucking starfish. Like, you got no tricks to do, you fucking dog and pony show. You got nothing. I look like this. That's when I was like, you know what? I want somebody that's good in the face, but will freak in the sheets, man. Like, you got to be able to do what you do for me.
So, my group, there was, like, the thin athletic one. Mm-hmm. Then there was the, like, another athletic one, slightly more curvy, more adventurous, willing to do stuff.
Oh, so she was throwing it.
And then there was the one with like boobs.
Yeah,
and boobs early.
I'm pretty sure I know who that one is.
You've never met that one.
Oh.
And then there was me, who was bigger, but like.
You had a tomboy era though.
Because that's what fat clothes for girls when I was growing up was
fat girls for clothes. That sounds like a donation. Fat girls for clothes. It fits, goddammit. Lane Bryant.
Clothes for fat girls when I was growing up was very manly or 40-year-old businesswoman.
I know.
There was no in between.
Everybody looked like that. My so-called life with the fucking flannel.
I did have my Angela Chase phase where I had the bob and I had the maroon JanSport and my flannel because I loved her, and it was supposed to be based in Pittsburgh, so but So the group would walk up, or the guys would walk over to us, and I could notice, because when you're fat, you notice it. Like, you notice the, like,
You learn how to be a good people watcher when you're heavy.
Yeah, and so I would see that they, like, were annoyed by me. And so then I didn't give a fuck. So, like, I would just be my sarcastic self. And by the end of it, like, the guys would be all, like, circled around talking to me. And, like, the group would just be standing there, like,
You know,
like,
you know who's that? Rye. When Rye was heavy, Rye ran roughshod over everyone. Now he's lost the fucking 120 pounds. Now he has the look and the personality.
Yeah.
Like, he's already 10 years ahead of fucking everybody.
Yeah.
Like 1,000%.
Yeah.
Like, he has the personality, he has the look, he has the charm. But the man's got swag.
Yeah.
He's not swagoo, but he's young queso.
Yeah, but no, like, and then I would hear stuff from the group. They'd be like, well, you, like, monopolized the whole conversation. You guys didn't open your mouth.
Yeah.
Or then, like, towards the end of the night, like, one time we were at a basketball game, and I was standing with the popular guy from our school, and we were talking, and, like, this other kid who was an asshole, but, like, I had the biggest crush on him. But, like, we were sitting there talking.
You love assholes.
I do. But, so we were standing there talking, and he had always been, like, slightly rude, not directly to me, but behind my back, but I knew about it. And I started making fun of the one kid playing, because he was, like, 6'6", and dunked. And they were, like, his school every time would lose their mind when he dunked. And I'm like, it's not impressive. Like, he could stand still and dunk. Like, so he jumped half an inch off the ground and dunked. Like, if I dunked, that would be impressive. Like, and I had this kid, like, laughing and, like, cracking up and stuff. And then, like, I walked away because I had to, like, go do something or whatever. And then, like, the kid from my school later to me was like, you know, he would not stop talking about you when you walked away. I was like, he kept saying, like, she's really funny. He's like, I know, that's why we're friends.
Yeah.
And he later, like, when we were leaving, he was like, hey, bye. And I was like, bye. Because it, like, threw me off. I'm like, why all of a sudden, you know? And then, like, from that point on, anytime we played them or we were at tournaments, so we would all be, like, because it was Christian school. So you would see all the same schools again because there was, like, 5 of us. Yeah,
because, like, he was probably the best player because there was no black kids. Like 1,000%. You know, like, it was Terry and everyone. That was it. It was Terry and Revis, and, like, the simple fact that you know Revis, like, blows my mind. I know 2 people that are famous.
Yeah, he follows me on IG.
I know, it's so weird. It's so weird. Like,
I used to give him rides home, like, legit car rides. Oh.
You got to specify that, honey. You know you a black man's weakness. You know you a black man's weakness. Red hair, hips, and ass.
Yeah, but no, I would give him rides home after basketball games and stuff because I was older. Yeah. And I was driving, and his mom, like, was always had stuff to do, single mom, and, like...
Yeah, you always work. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
And they didn't have no fucking, like, stay-at-home jobs then. You had to work.
Yeah, so my mom, being a teacher at the school... Yeah. Knew everybody and knew all the situations, and we went to all the games and stuff. So she'd be like, we'll give him a ride home, don't worry about it, like, we'll make sure he gets home. Like, and because my mom was a teacher, myself and my brother, because my brother coached Revis. Just
but if you've met Corey is, like, literally, like, the strongest freaking person you'll ever freaking meet, and he's built, like, he's short, but he's literally the definition of, like, hard-nosed fullback. He's a fullback.
He's a cement brick.
Yeah. Like, can't fucking move him.
Yeah.
I'm strong as an ox, and I'm like, this guy's stocky. Yeah. Like, I tell you all the time, if we met in a hole, someone's dying. Like, someone's dying because he's that big and strong, and I'm that crazy.
Yeah. But, like, but because my mom was a teacher and everything, like, we were trusted to give other kids rides home versus just, like, I know my kid was a teenager, you know, kind of thing. Because I was newly with my license and stuff like that. But, yeah.
That's wild to me, man. Like, it's so wild. Like, I don't... Yeah, and that's the thing that's wild is like you look at it where we talked about like so many different things, in which the title of this podcast is going to be called like a podcast about nothing. But it's these building blocks of bullshit that in trauma that literally each trauma step is just a step out of the bullshit of what was passed down to us, because the only family traditions we have is fucked up in trauma. But it's one of those things where like if we didn't have that, imagine where I don't want to be fucking normal.
Yeah.
Like normal people could suck my dick from the back.
Okay.
Like so I could fart on them.
Oh my god.
Straight up. Nah, not really. But like I'm just saying, like, can you imagine being fucking normal? I couldn't imagine that. In a land of weird, I just want to be the weirdest.
I don't know if I want to go that far.
I do.
But...
I do. I don't want to be like Jerry Springer weird, but I'm definitely a Maury Povich hoe. And on that note, this has been another episode of Caffeine Controversy. Follow us because we're going to have a new episode coming out next week. We have the booty assassin, PGP, Cara, and of course, Lush, Big Fluff. I no longer go by the M word because like that offends people, but
just me.
Just really, I'm just going to call myself Aloysius.
Oh my god.
That was my alias when I went to Mardi Gras, so Aloysius Jenkins. And it was spelled aloe wishes. Like it wasn't like, because I still can't spell. I can't spell with a goddamn. I can't spell shit. Like if my name was in 4 letters, one word, it would not go good. Like I'm telling you right now, if my name was like, because my name came from the Bible, right? But if they said Leviticus, it's Levi for sure. It's Levi for sure.
My last name growing up was Wagaman.
Yeah, she dragging that wagon. We'll be back next week, guys.
Make sure you follow us on all platforms, you misfits. And just remember, caffeine is first. The filter is never.